Hey everybody, welcome to tonight's pour. Now tonight's pour is going to be a Hot Wheels themed painting. So I came down to the studio tonight. I kind of was just thinking of throwing. Not to make a long story out of this, but I've been keeping some excess paint in these little cups with the lid, and the problem is that I don't really use a lot of them. So after a while, they start getting a little where you really need to get rid of them, and I don't want to just throw them away. So I was thinking of just throwing a bunch of colors together and doing a painting. That was my plan tonight, but I decided to do a Hot Wheels themed painting tonight. So I was looking at my cars. I actually looked at this one here and was going to do orange and blue, which I love. And then I saw this orange car. So I'm still going to do orange and blue, but I just changed the car. So this is a 1970 Chevy Camaro. And doesn't have any blue on it at all, but I'm going to still use blue. So I went with a metallic orange, which is from Artist Loft. And I've really been into the metallic paints here lately. So I was going to use just my regular blue that I use with my other orange and blue paintings, but I decided to go with the metallic blue. I've been into the metallics. So I've got my paints mixed. I've actually got my orange on. And then I did a little bit different on the background. I did a metallic orange, and then I have regular orange from Master's Touch. And I put a little bit of that in it, lines, and then I was going to blow it out with my hair dryer, just kind of mix it in, and it wasn't really moving with my hair dryer. So I just used a straw and kind of blew it out. And then I kind of ran some lines, as you know I do, to give it some texture. And so I'm also going to be using white, which is also Artist Loft white, which I already have pre-mixed, but this is the Artist Loft white that I used. And so we're going to do blue with the white coming out the back of the car. So I've already got it on the canvas, and I've already got the paints mixed. So all I have to do is adjust the camera and we can get started. All right, as you can see, I've poured the regular orange from Master's Touch, which is a lighter or a darker than the metallic orange. So you can actually really see it, and I blew it out with a straw. And probably need a little bit more. I probably didn't do a whole lot right here because this is probably where most of the blue is going to be, so I'm not going to worry about that. So we've got the blue here. I'll save a little bit of that because I might need some more. Not going to do a whole lot of blowing on that. Well, I need some more butane in there. I'll have to get some more butane. And as you can see, I got a nice ripple effect right there. The lines with the white, that's why I went across like that with the white. Because the very first time I did my orange with blue, kind of like this, and I did white like that, for some reason, I just did it. And it came a really nice pattern, and it was like I didn't touch it after that, and that's actually the one I kept. So I've been trying to duplicate it, and I think what I did the previous one that didn't really get that effect, which this isn't as much as the first one I did, but I think I held the blow dryer higher up so it wasn't so pushy. So it was kind of just, didn't push as much, but I got closer down here because I wanted it more fanned out. So I'm trying to think. I got a lot of cells in here. Let me add some butane. Now, a lot of you maybe have never seen this before, but this is the torch that I use. This is a can of butane. Has a little nozzle. So right here is a little dot right there. You just set that in there and push down until it starts squirting like that at the very end. And now you got a full torch with butane. I see the difference between how it was shooting out to what I have now. A lot better. And I think I'm just going to keep this one like this. Let's see what the car looks like on there. I'm trying to think, maybe I shouldn't use this orange one. Maybe just the orange and blue. Let's see. Because that barely has any orange in it. And this is a Dodge Charger, which I do a lot of, and this is a Camaro, which I don't do as many. I think I'd just use the orange one. I would wish it had some blue in it, but just getting it out of the package so I can kind of see what it would look like. Yep. I think I'll go with that one. All right, so there we have it. All we have to do is wait for this to dry, and we can get it resin and place the car on it, and we'll have a killer piece. All right, so I know it's kind of unusual for my videos, but it's right in the middle. I've already painted the painting, and here it is. It's the dried painting. It's not finished, but this is a dried painting. I haven't taped it yet, but what I'm showing you this for is because I've changed my mind on the car. So I'm not using the 70s Charger, which is right here, which it actually does look good on this painting. Not too bad. So the reason why is because while this was drying and before tonight, when it's dry and ready to go, I was at the store. And here lately, the stores have not had any Hot Wheels. And I actually have more. I can show you a little bit more of my collection there. This isn't my full collection. This is just what I have in here. I have more hanging up here than what the store has. The Walmart over in the town where I work, and the Myers and Walmarts that are just 10 miles north of me here, and they just don't have anything. And there's a gnat in here. What's all I want is gnats in here when I'm resining. So they usually dive bomb my resin paintings, and I come in the next morning and I find a dead gnat and they don't do it in the darkest part where you wouldn't see it unless you just was really looking hard. They do it right out here where it's bright. And I had one piece that just had a corner that had pure white there. There was a little bit of white throughout, but it was just a big swath of white, and that thing landed right in that white. The rest of it was really darkish. So, I found this car. I was actually surprised to find anything. I wasn't actually going to plan on buying any, and I ended up buying 3, which these 2 here, 2 of them, but they had these M2s, which I do like the M2s. Machines 2, I think is what it is. I'm not sure, but I found this NOS, Super NOS, and it's orange and blue, and it's the kind of orange that matches this orange. So I decided to use this car instead. So this is kind of a little added video to the video to explain why I'm changing it. And usually I just do it at the end when I'm resining it, and then I tell you guys, hey, I'm changing the car. So that's the car we're going to use. And all I have to do is tape this and mix the resin, and we can get going. All right, so we have this one dried, as I guess I showed you this in the video. I have taped it now, got it taped. So when I come back in the morning, before I go to work, I'll be able to pull those dried droplets off of this thing real easily. So we have our car. This is the car we're going with, the NOS, Super NOS. So I'm using Pro Marine resin, and I'm using 12 ounces. Well, I mixed 12 ounces. I take that back. I'm using 7, but I mixed 12 ounces because I have a 12 by 12 here that I'm going to resin as well. And so a 12 by 12 is 5. So 7 and 5 is 12. And of course, you use half of that for the epoxy and half of that for the hardener, so it's 6 and 6. It was real easy one tonight. So I actually do prefer to mix a little bit more. Now when I say that, it's easier to mix a larger amount, let's put it that way. It's easier to mix a larger amount of resin than it is for a smaller amount. Now the reason I say that is because it's easier to measure out, and it's just a lot easier. It mixes, I think it mixes a lot better in the cup. I just like doing larger amounts, I guess. Not huge amounts, but larger than 7 is not too bad, but it is kind of hard to get 3.5 and 3.5 sometimes, even though it seems like I always end up with 8 a lot of the times instead of 7, which I don't mind that little extra, but if I do that on every pour, I'm losing an ounce of resin every pour. That can add up after a while, especially since I do a lot of these. That actually can add up after a while. So I try not to do it. Guess I am a little heavy-handed at times with stuff. Okay, I believe I got all the resin on there that I need. So let's get to torching it. seems like I've been out of the studio for quite a while. Haven't even really resined anything in a while, but it's only been about a week. And especially resining, I think I've painted within the last week. But well, I tell you, sometimes when you get out of the groove of it, it's easy to say, "Oh, not tonight. I don't want to paint. I'm just gonna sit here." And usually I'm not really doing anything more important. I'm usually just relaxing and watching TV or watching stuff on my phone. I do play a few games on my phone, but not a lot. There's a couple of, I don't know what you'd call them. They're kind of like, I don't know if you'd really call them role-playing games, like the old RPGs. But they're, one is a Star Wars game, one's Marvel, where you have, like in the Star Wars, you have all the Star Wars characters that you can collect and you use them to battle with and stuff. I'm just a big Star Wars fan, so I've been playing that for years. I play every day because you have daily stuff you have to do. So I don't spend a ton of time on it, but I do get on it every day and just do a few things here and there to advance my stuff a little bit as I can and go on my day. And so I do a Marvel one. I just did another one. Can't even remember what it's called now. Awaken, I think is what it's called. So it's a fairly new one and I'm enjoying it. I do like those type of games where you build your character up. Usually it's a single character. With the Star Wars and the Marvel, no, the other one's Age of Magic, I think is what it is. You have multiple characters, but you kind of, I do build some up, you know, level them up, some at the same time, but usually I focus on one. There's certain things you got to do in the game, so there's certain ones I try to focus on the most on certain aspects of it, and then once I get him to where, like their gear level, once I get it to the top tier gear level, move on to the next guy, pick the next one I want to level up, and go from there. So I'm in the process of doing that over the years. All right, so I think I have all the bubbles out of this. Just put it over our car. We're going to set it in right here. And there we have it. Good old NOS. So that orange just kind of matched the lighter orange. Maybe it's a little bit lighter than what that is, but that's all right. The blue's a little lighter than that, but at least this one does have blue in it. Blue and orange. So there you go. If you like this one, hit the like button on the video. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think I should have went with the original car, or if I should have, or I did the right choice in using this car. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel. It's greatly appreciated. Thanks for watching.